Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Dear student, welcome. This is Biochemistry 2 course, code Chem 342, and we are having lecture 35. Our today's topic is vitamins B5, B6, and B7. Today we will be discussing three vitamins of the B complex series, B5, B6, and B7. And this is Dr. Naeem Khan, Chemistry Department, CUST. Outline for today's lecture, we will discuss chemistry of the subject vitamins. I mean chemistry of B5, B6, and B7. We will highlight the important sources of B5, B6, and B7. And then we will highlight the human requirements of each of these vitamins, and we will explain the important functions of vitamin B5, B6, and B7. Let to have a start. Chemistry of pantothenic acid or B5 vitamin. Pantothenic acid was first isolated by R.J. Williams from yeast and liver concentrates. Like other B complex vitamins, this B5 is also found initially was discovered in the yeast and liver concentrations. B5 is also known as pantothenic acid. Why it is called pantothenic acid? Because of its wide distribution, it is present everywhere. So it was named as pantothenic acid because pentos in Greek means everywhere. So this vitamin is found everywhere. It is widely distributed. That's why it is called pantothenic acid. Pentos is from Greek, which means everywhere. It is also called as filtrate factor or yeast factor because it is found in yeast. That's why it is called yeast factor. From the chemistry point of view, the molecular formula of pantothenic acid is C9H17NO5, and it is an amide of pentoic acid, alpha gamma dihydroxy, beta beta dimethyl butyric acid, which is linked to beta alanine. Means its structure is alpha gamma dihydroxy. There are two hydroxy attached at the alpha and gamma position, and two dimethyl, two methyl, which are attached at the beta beta positions, and basic structure is butyric acid, which is linked to beta alanine. You can see the structure here. This is if we start from here, this is gamma and alpha. Alpha gamma dihydroxy, and beta carbon is having two methyl group. And so we can say that alpha gamma dihydroxy beta beta dimethyl, and basically is a four carbon compound, 1, 2, 3, 4. So butyric acid, and this is linked to beta alanine. This is basically alanine, but the point is the amino group is not alpha, it is actually beta. So from the structure point of view, it is alpha gamma dihydroxy beta beta dimethyl butyric acid linked to beta alanine. So two components which are pentoic acid and alanine component, they are linked to peptide linkage, just like the bond we see in proteins. This structure can be traced in Fundamentals of Biochemistry GL Jain book. Sources of pantothenic acid, important sources of pantothenic acid, as we discussed, it is actually found everywhere. Ubiquitous in nature because it is found in everywhere. Yes, liver, yeast, eggs, these are the richest sources of vitamin B5. Vegetables such as potatoes, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, and fruits, which include tomatoes, peanuts, and skimmed milk, wheat, brown, whole milk, and canned salmon are less important sources. Important sources are yeast, liver, and eggs, but other which are less important include potatoes, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, and also for fruits like peanuts and skim milk, wheat bran, whole milk. They are not that much common sources of vitamin B5. The most in most animal tissues and microorganism, it is present in the coenzyme A. Coenzyme is a very important coenzyme in the human body, and we know that it's the important component of the electron transport chain. So in animals, mostly it is present in the form of coenzyme A. Human requirements. Dietary allowance of vitamin B for humans has not been officially worked out because it's ubiquitous or everywhere nature present. Actually, this vitamin is present in variety of foods. That's why it's called ubiquitous or means found everywhere. Because of this nature, normally there is no shortage of this vitamin to humans. So the daily allowance of this vitamin has not been worked out. No definite deficiency syndrome has been ascribed to pantothenic acid because normally it is not having in shortage to humans. Although 5 to 10 milligram a day of vitamin is usually suggested if abnormal conditions take place and their shortage comes. Functions of vitamin pantothenic acid. Like B complex, pantothenic acid are also important for the body to consume carbohydrate, fats, and proteins for energy. Remember, vitamin B complex series are mostly involved in the extraction of energy from the biomolecules, including carbohydrate, lipids, and protein. So pantothenic is also having the same basic function. Pantothenic acid is also very important for maintaining health of mental health and its performance. That's reducing the tiredness and fatigue and the production of steroid hormones, helping produce some neurotransmitters. So a very important vitamin because this is requiring for the normal and good mental health and removes the tiredness and fatigue. There's production of steroid hormones and helping the neurotransmitter. The only known metabolic fate of vitamin B5 is the participation in the formation of biologically important coenzyme A. And coenzyme is a very important. Coenzyme A is important carrier in electron transport chain. It carries the electron from one to another molecule, and in this way, the energy release is used for the phosphorylation of ADP to ATP. Coming to the next vitamin of today's topic, that is vitamin B6, and vitamin B6 actually include three vitamins. These are pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine. So these are vitamins B6. We have pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine. The different forms are actually the derivatives of pyridine. Pyridine is a simple structure comparatively, having a six-member ring with nitrogen in the ring as well. So six-member ring actually. The three forms differ from each other in the nature of the substituent at position 4 of the ring. Actually, they are the derivatives of six-member pyridine ring, and they are having a substituent at position number 4. All the other structures are the same, but pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine actually different from one another based on the substituent group attached at position number 4. Here we can see the structure. Look, this is pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine. And here we can see at this carbon number 4, the structure is either methanol group or methanol or actually methanamine. Huh? So that's why that this substitution group is different from among this group. Yes, the group number 3 OH, group number 2 OH, they are the same. This group are also look the same. And among the three B6 vitamins, they are different from one another based on the substitution at carbon number 4. This all the three forms are readily interconvertible biologically because they are only different based on the position substitution at carbon number 4. So they are easily convertible into another. Structure can be traced in the GLJ book of biochemistry. Sources of vitamin B6, they are widely distributed in nature, plants and animals, just like vitamin B5. Cereals like wheat and rice, also vegetables such as turnips, such as peas, turnips, carrots, and potatoes. Also like fruits and watermelons and bananas and yeast. They are the richest sources of the vitamin B6. So vitamin B6 can be obtained from these sources. Most commonly, these are our most common foods like wheat, rice, peas, turnips, potatoes, bananas, watermelons. So it is widely distributed. In egg, yolk, chicken, fish, beef, pork, and liver, they are also present. Vitamin B6 are also present. Pyridoxine is adequately available in human cow milk, especially pyridoxine. Pyridoxal and pyridoxamine occur in nature in their coenzyme, namely pyridoxal phosphate and pyridamine phosphate. Two vitamins, especially the pyridoxal and pyridoxamine forms of vitamin B6, they are present in their phosphorylated form, pyridoxal phosphate and pyridoxamine phosphate in animals, and actually they are the important coenzyme and very well known reactions of human metabolism. Requirements of vitamin B6 include their dietary allowance of vitamin B6 are from zero point 0.2 to 1.2 milligram for infants and children, and there are 2 milligram for men and women per day. So each day for adults, 2 milligram, while for infants and children, it is from zero point 0.2 to 1.2 milligram per day. Is like for other vitamins. And during pregnancy lactation, the recommended dose is increased. And for vitamins B6, it is 2.5 milligram per day. Excess intake of B6 cause sensory neuropathy. So excess of everything is not bad. It's every excess is having adverse effects on sensory system. Vitamin B6 deficiency leads to the development of acrodynia, a disease of dermatitis on ears, mouth, and tail, and accompanied by edema and scaliness of the structure. If deficiency of vitamins causes symptoms, and that disease will development acrodynia, and this is the disease of the dermatitis on ears, mouth, and tail, and it is accompanied by edema and scaliness of the structure. Functions of B6 vitamin. B6 vitamin, especially pyridoxine, it is known as important to keep the brain and nervous system functioning the way they should be. So there's a very, very important vitamin because it is required for the proper functioning of the nervous system. Especially pyridoxine is having well-known function for the proper normal brain functioning nervous system. Vitamin B6 are involved in the production of hemoglobins of RBCs. We know that red blood cells are very much important for the transportation of oxygen, and the important thing in the RBCs are the hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin production requires vitamin B6. So vitamin B6 are important because they are producing hemoglobin which can be used for the RBCs formation. Vitamin B6 help to make the hormones serotonin, which regulate mood, and norepinephrine, which help the body to cope with the stress. Two important vitamins are produced by the vitamin B6, and these are serotonin, and which serotonin regulates the mood of the body, and norepinephrine, which help the individual to cope with the stress. These two vitamins are very much important, and they are requiring the vitamin B6 for its production. Vitamin B6 helps the body to make melatonin, another hormone, which is important to regulate internal clock and sleep. This internal balance for clock and sleep is very important, and that is produced by melatonin, and this is also produced by the vitamins B6. Pyridoxal phosphate are the coenzyme of the glutamic decarboxylase and gamma aminobutyric acid and transaminase. Each is essential for the normal brain metabolism. We In the earlier slide, we discussed the pyridoxal phosphate and pyridoxamine phosphate are the two important forms of these B vitamins, B6 vitamins, which are occurring in animals. And actually, these pyridoxal phosphate among them is the important coenzyme for the glutamic decarboxylase and gamma aminobutyric acid transaminase, two important enzymes, and these enzymes are very much important for the brain metabolism. Coming to the third and the last B vitamin of this series for today's discussion is biotin. It is vitamin B7 and having molecular formula of C10H16O3 and 2S. This vitamin is also called vitamin H, where this H means for hor and hot. These are actually German words which are hair and skin. Actually, this vitamin is having very important function for hair and skin. And originally, these are from the German word hair and hot. And from these two H, actually the word come H comes, and this vitamin is therefore also known as vitamin H. Biotin and thiamine are the only vitamin. Thiamine is vitamin B1. These two vitamins are the only vitamin which are containing sulfur. Here we can see sulfur. B7 has the unusual structure consisting of a fused imidazole and thiophene ring with a fatty acid side chain. Two important points we are discussing here. Biotin is containing sulfur, and the only other vitamin which is having sulfur is thiamine. Next thing we say that its structure is unique, and it consists of imidazole fused with thiophene and also having fatty acid in the side chain. This is imidazole fused imidazole with thiophene. This is thiophene part and this is imidazole found. Both are fused together and having side chain at the center. This is fatty acid, which is shown here, valeric acid. So the structure is quite unique. Two things are fused together, imidazole with thiophene and having fatty acid at the side chain. Sources of vitamin B7 that is widely distributed in animals and plants. Yeast, liver, kidney, milk, and molasses are the richest sources of vitamin B7 or biotin. Peanuts and eggs are having lesser amounts of B7 vitamin. Biotin occurs in nature usually in combined state as biocetin, which means that biotin linked to a peptide with amino acid lysine. Naturally, it, it is occur as biocetin, which in which the biotin is linked to a peptide with amino acid lysine. When amino acid is linked to this vitamin, it is called biocetin. The structure can be seen here. Look, this is thiophene fused with actually the two fuse ring, and this is the fatty acid link, which is linked by peptide bond to the lysine. So this is biocetin, and this structure can be traced in the GLGN book of biochemistry. Human requirements: intestinal bacteria synthesize biotin, actually the vitamin B7, in appreciable amounts, and that's why the RDA of this vitamin has not been established. As this vitamin is widely available and usually there is no deficiency of this vitamin, that's why the RDA for this vitamin has not been set up. However, under abnormal condition, up to 10 milligram per day of biotin is sufficient for the adult. Important function like other B vitamins, we know, biotin also help the body to process carbohydrate, fats, lipids for energy production. These are the biomolecules and these require for the energy production. And we know that all the three biomolecule metabolism requires so many steps, but the important steps is the electron transport chain, where the oxidative phosphorylation of ADP to ATP takes place. These B complex vitamins are usually required. There is coenzyme for the transportation of electron, and during this transportation, the energy released is used for the phosphorylation of ADP to ATP. Biotin boosts the health of the hair and nails, and that's why vitamin H name was given from the German pronunciation. It supports healthy pregnancy, helps manage blood sugar level. These are very important functions. B7 serves as prosthetic group for many enzymes such as catalyzing the fixation of CO2 into organic molecules, thus bringing about carboxylation. Vitamin B7, so very important metabolic function is it is the prosthetic group for the enzymes such as catalyzing the fixation of CO2 into organic molecules and thus carboxylation. Actually, these vitamins this vitamin is involved in the formation of prosthetic group for the enzyme to fix the carbon dioxide into the organic molecules, and this fixation occur in the formation of the carboxylic group. So carboxylation takes place. Important references for today's book lecture, dear student, is from the last few lectures. These two books are recommended for detailed study, and these include West and Todd and GL Jain. These are very important books and highlight all the 3 points, all the three B series vitamins B6, B5, B6, and B7 we discussed today. And the four aspects of these three vitamins we discussed, that is the chemistry, their sources, and mm, their important functions, and the recommended dietary allowance of all the three vitamins we discussed. Please go to these books, elaborate, and have a thorough concept, and prepare detailed notes for your understandings, and clear all your confusions. From today, I will say goodbye. See you next time. Until then, Allah Hafiz.